In this video session, we are going to see about the integrated marketing communication and the process. Integrated marketing communication and the process. What do you mean by an integrated marketing communication? Whenever the firms have certain products or services, they need to communicate to the people or the market that they have a quality product. So for that they follow different types of strategies. Which will help them to reach the target audience. This strategy is known as integrated marketing communication. Integrated marketing communication. This communication process has basically seven different steps. 7 steps which are sequential in determining the target audience and also the communication required for each target audience to have the product or service bought by them. Let us now see these 7 different steps in a block diagram. The first step is situation analysis. Analysis of the situation that is in the market. Then the SWOT analysis is done. The SWOT analysis is done by the marketer. And then communication process analysis. Communication process analysis is done by the marketer to analyze whether the process of communication used is effective enough to reach the target audience. Then the marketer does budget determination, because without a budget no marketing activity is possible. Then after determining the budget, they develop the integrated marketing communication program which will help them to reach the target audience. And then the 6th step is implementation of the program. Implementation of the program, and finally it ends up with monitoring. So these are all the steps which is involved in the IMC process. The first we'll just have it as a block so that it will be easy for you to understand it more clearly. Budget is determined and okay. Now with this block diagram we will just explain each and every individual steps in detail before combining all the steps in one single entity. The first step in this is situation analysis. What do you mean by situation analysis? The marketer does an environmental analysis to determine the type of people, type of consumers in the particular market and their lifestyle, the culture, etc., so that the impact that is created by such an analysis on the brand is ascertained. Then they review certain plans which they have for a particular market and comes out with a marketing plan for the market which has been identified by the marketer to market their products or services. Then they ascertain the promotional strategies which are necessary in a market, and they ascertain the role of marketing promotions in certain markets. In these markets, and this will help them in building the brand and enhancing the corporate image of the company. In other words, the marketer analyzes the situation which leads the consumer to buy their products. So this is very important step in integrated marketing communication program, because only when you know what is required by the consumer, you can devise the communication model in such a way that it pleases the audience and makes the consumer to buy your product or service and give you more profitability. The next step in this is the SWOT analysis. What is SWOT? SWOT, as you all know, is the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. A SWOT analysis is done. The companies will have few plans. These plans are put into analysis mode, and the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of all the plans, plan A, B, C, D, all those plans are ascertained, and from that the most effective plan is selected. The effective plan is selected. Most effective plan is selected. The category of plan to be selected is dependent upon the objectives that has been laid down by the company with respect to its marketing plan, and also the profitability expected. When you do this SWOT analysis, you can understand the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, and it is very evident here that the plan which you need to select need not be one full plan. It can be a mixture of 4 different plans, it can be a mixture of 2 plans, and it can be anything like that. So the companies need to have a look into it and make the SWOT analysis in the most profitable manner. The next step in this process is analysis of communication process. Okay, you have to devised the plan. As a company, plan is ready. Now, how to execute the plan? The plan can be executed only through proper communication channel. Which means you have to select the media vehicle which is very efficient to implement your plan. Media vehicle means print ads or television ads or banners, etc. You have to select the media vehicle. The selection of media vehicle involves a very sophisticated process. It's not very easy to select a media vehicle. You have to be very careful about the media vehicle, because the media vehicle which you select should reach the target audience. You cannot have a print ad and put it in a village where print ads are not delivering. So it's very important to select the media vehicle with respect to the objectives you have and with the profitability levels that you are expecting in a particular process. When you do this, what they do is they establish the communication goals, the goal of the marketer. I mean, what the marketer wants to communicate to the particular target audience. It has to be established in this particular scenario, and you have to imagine how source, message, and channel are perceived. You yourself has to change as a consumer and see. You are having a source, you are having a message, and you have selected the media vehicle or the channel. But how the consumer will take it, you have to analyze this motto. You have to transform yourself into the shoes of the consumer and see whether you yourself will like the advertisement being a common consumer. The next step is budget determination. You have all the plans ready, the communication model is ready, but what you require for implementing any program finance is required. Finance or money is required. So you have to draft a budget and see estimated costs for implementing the IMC program. For implementing the IMC process or program, so that you might know whether you can afford for the particular cost or you need to pump in more money to execute this particular program. And while budgeting, you have to make sure that costs are optimal with processes. Unnecessary costs have to be avoided, and the costs, if it is going to give you good results, there is no point in restricting the cost. So it's very important step as far as the IMC process is concerned. It involves all the departments, right from marketing and the finance departments, to sit and plan for the budget required for carrying out the IMC process. The next step is development of program, development of IMC program. This involves developing advertising slogans, taglines, etc. And also the time in which the program has to happens. For example, when you are going to do it in a TV or between some programs in the TV, you have to analyze and decide which time is prime for advertisements, because it depends on people. If, for example, if your product is targeted at housewives, the best time is to target is the prime time where these programs and events related to ladies are being telecasted in the TV, so that you make full use and you can have a good support of the media vehicle to take your product to the consumer mind. For example, if you are targeting youngsters, you can probably take the time of sports events, live sports events, so that you can target the youngsters. Likewise, you have to define each and every target consumer and develop the IMC program based on their preference and their based on their availability, so that the target audience are reached fully and the IMC program is utilized effectively. Now, implement the IMC program. The next step is implementation of IMC program. You have designed it. In this stage, the real program happens. The ads are being telecasted, and banners are displayed. While doing this, it's very important that a person from the marketing team oversees this activity. You have to select where to put up banners, and you need to make sure that banners are obstacle free. They are not out of visibility of the consumer. And while you do this, the IMC program live feedback can be garnered from consumers, maybe through a program can be garnered through a program like a specific program on this in the TV ads, or by having an interview with people who are shopping in malls or shops, small shops, etc. The final step is monitoring. You have implemented the IMC program. You have to now monitor the program and collect feedback from individuals. Collect feedback from the individuals, because feedbacks are very important in improving the program. Now, based on feedbacks, you improve the program dynamically. While it is in use, you can improve the program dynamically, or you can probably change the media vehicle and see if it works. Change the media vehicle and have a control over the expected results, and when there are some results coming, you can do the gap analysis to find out the gap between perceived and actual outputs of the IMC program. I think with this you would have got some information about the IMC program and its effectiveness. In our next session, we'll meet you with yet another interesting topic in marketing. Till then, goodbye. Have a nice day.